Ohio State leads the nation in a major NIL category. How much money on average do football and basketball players make per social media post? And there are 4 Buckeyes scheduled to play in this year's Super Bowl. All that and more right here on Locked On Buckeyes.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Buckeye fans? Welcome back to another episode of Locked On Buckeyes, part of Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, also the host of the Jay Stevens Podcast. It is Friday, it's February 11th. Let's now go back in time in the year 2022. And on this Feel Good Friday, I want to thank you for making Locked On Buckeyes your first to listen or first watch of every single day. The date, July 1st, 2021. Athletes all over the country, collegiate athletes specifically, could make money off of their name, image, and likeness. What was taking place behind closed doors for decades could now be put out on Front Street, didn't have to be hidden, and players could make money, consistently make money, and embark on numerous NIL deals throughout their time at the school they're playing college athletics. Well, Ohio State's one of those brands that sells itself. Now, when it comes to NIL, you have to be marketable, and there's other details that go into that. But a lot of times a brand does sell itself. But to be number one in this category means you're doing just a whole lot more than partaking in and enjoying the perks of being a Buckeye. Ohio State leads the entire country in NIL compensation. 225 athletes on a reported 619 deals. This is as of January 23rd, have made a total, all 225 athletes, $2,985,559. With there being a few weeks or a couple weeks in between the date of this being reported or these numbers getting compiled and now, that number is probably over $3 million. Ohio State also leads the nation in number of athletes with at least one NIL deal. Ohio State is second in the nation in total NIL deals, second in the nation in NIL compensation per activity, and second in the nation with percentage of athletes with at least one NIL deal. Throw something else in there. They're third in compensation, NIL compensation per athlete. Yes, the brand does sell itself. Ohio State is one of the biggest brands in college athletics. You add in, say, Alabama or Florida or a Miami or a Florida State or a Clemson, specifically in football, or a Syracuse or Oklahoma, a Texas, a Nebraska, Missouri, USC, a Washington, a Oregon. A lot of these brands are not on the level of Ohio State. Some of them are towards the top, especially in their local area. But to get almost $3 million in 7 months via NIL deals, you're doing a whole lot more than just partaking in and accepting, realizing, and enjoying the perks of being a Buckeye. You're capitalizing on yourself. You're capitalizing on the person that you are, the human that you have grown up to be. I mean, think about this. Jimmy Sotos, a basketball player that does not start, doesn't get 6 man, 7 man, 8 man minutes. He does not get that at all. But with his 1 million plus on TikTok, I venture that there have been companies that have reached out to him to say, hey, Jimmy, we see what you're doing on the TikTok. How about we put some money in your pocket and you help us out at the same time? It's a win-win for everybody. Now, CJ Stroud is a player that has made a lot of money. Travion Henderson, another one. He actually made a comment talking about how, quote, NIL has completely changed my life forever, end quote. He's a true freshman running back. 1,200 rushing yards this year, and he has quickly realized that he's a smart individual as well, but he has quickly realized the power of NIL. Now, this is not just for football or basketball. This is for every athlete at the Ohio State University. You got lacrosse, you got men's basketball, you got women's basketball, you got tennis, both men and women. You have volleyball, both men and women. Ohio State as a school, they have really said, hey, we're going to take this on and we're going to run with it. When this first came out, as far as NIL being legal, not happening behind closed doors, I really ventured to say that there would be schools such as Ohio State, Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma, USC, Washington, Oregon, San Jose State, Fresno State. I mean, some of the schools in California that, California kids are going to these California schools. Their lifestyle is different out there. I ventured that some of those West Coast schools would be big in this, but for this to be your entire school, athletic department, your entire brand, and you're saying, we got this. We're making this money. I mean, there's more numbers here that we could go through and look at, but Ohio State is doing something that I thought that people thought that this would be an Alabama thing. I thought people might think this would be an Oklahoma or a Texas thing based off their region of the country. But Gene Smith and Ryan Day, two people specifically, have tackled this head on. Yes, there have been hiccups. Yes, there have been obstacles. Yes, there have been bumps in the road. Yes, things I still think need to be ironed out legally. NCAA, I think Ohio State does a phenomenal job in their compliance department as far as saying, hey, this is acceptable. This is not acceptable. Before you are able to accept an NIL deal, it needs to run through our compliance department to make sure it fits our school and the the legal guidelines that are there, so that you're following the rules. I mean, I think they do a phenomenal, absolutely tremendous job with that. But Ohio State as a whole did not have to go down this road. Did not have to embark on and partake in and say, well, yeah, we know what we can do. We know how talented you are. We know the power of the brand, but we're not going to do this. We're not going to be a school that comes out here automatically and says, let's just go ahead and take advantage of who we are. They could have taken a backseat and said, well, we don't know all about what's going to happen. And we know you want to make money, but we don't know exactly how this is going to impact us as a school. We're not going to assist you and aid you in making the money. They did not take that approach. They've assisted the kids, given them numerous tools. They're still adding tools to this day to better the student-athlete experience, particularly when it comes to them making money and signing NIL deals, leading the country in this category after only, 7-8 months of this going on. It's phenomenal. This is only the tip of the iceberg. Let's see the numbers, and I can't wait to see the numbers at the 1-year mark to say in the first year Ohio State athletes made this much money via NIL deals, guys. It's probably going to be huge, astronomical. Ooh-wee. And for these players, I'm sure they're glad they are Ohio State Buckeyes. It's Super Week, brought to you by Get Upside, and there's no better place to get coverage of the big game than the Locked On NFL podcast. Locked On Bengals and Locked On Rams are in LA all week covering the big game. I would also like to put out this challenge to every person out there. I don't care if you're listening to the audio version or if you're watching us via YouTube. The Locked On Buckeyes podcast is really, really close to hitting that 1,000 subscriber mark. It's really unfortunate that the Michigan Wolverines are ahead of us, and they're going to hit 1,000 subscribers before us unless you, those of you watching and listening, go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. We are slightly under 700. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers by the beginning of the NFL draft. That's a little over a month away. We can do it. You can do it. But let's catapult this thing very quickly. Let's get there before the Michigan Wolverines. And how about we make sure that we do that and cheer the Buckeyes on tomorrow as they face the Wolverines tomorrow on the basketball courts in Ann Arbor, Michigan. NIL deals are great. NIL deals, they're phenomenal. But when it comes to, on average, basketball and football players, there's always going to be that friendly competition, friendly rivalry, not just to really have the better record, have the better winning percentage, well, because basketball players will have more wins, but you're always competing. Hey, man, I had 30 points on in this game. How many games did you have over 100 rushing yards? Hey, man, I had 10 rebounds in this game. How many times did you have 15 tackles in a game? I mean, these are things, or 10 tackles in a game. These are things that I'm sure there's a friendly back and forth. It's cord, is wrapped around my arm, and I'm not sure what happened. We're back in business. I'm sure these athletes are having these friendly competitions all year long. When it comes to the NIL deals, the NIL stuff, they might not be having a competition. They might be encouraging each other. Hey, man, you made how much on average per post on Instagram? How much on average per post via your IG story? These numbers here, you're going to look at this and be like, they're doing this by simply getting a post together and then hitting tweet or hitting post or hitting send. They're doing all of that and it's free right there on the phone? Absolutely. Things are crazy in this NIL game. On average, this is an average, not total. Football players are making $5,968 per Instagram post, $569 per Twitter post. Now, these are ads that they're tweeting out, not just tweeting something. These are legit ads that are being posted in these ways. Football players on average, they're making $553 per Instagram story post. Now, this is not every player, only the players that have signed deals, NIL deals, and a part of their deal is a social media post on one of these three platforms. Basketball players, on average, for those players that are partaking in NIL on social media and it's a part of their deal, they're making $9,508 per Instagram post, $410 per Twitter post, and $124 per Instagram story post. The one number that you might say, Jay, why is it so high? Why is one number so much higher than the other? Basketball players making $9,500 per IG post, and then football players making $5,900 per IG post. That's just it. Don't ask me. I do know that basketball, if you look at basketball contracts and salaries versus football, the salaries in basketball are stupid. I mean, they're just absolutely stupid, obnoxiously high. Great for them. I mean, I'm not knocking it. Russell Westbrook, he ain't playing really that good basketball right now, but you're still making a lot of money. James Harden just picked up his option, a $42 million option. He gets traded the same day he gets traded. He picks up that option to make $42 million next year. Ben Simmons is making a lot of money. LeBron, of course, is making a lot of money. Carmelo, in his old stage in his career, is making a lot of money. I mean, these players are making a lot of money. Then you go down. There's only one Patrick Mahomes making what, $500 million. There's only one Patrick Mahomes. But basketball players make a lot of money, and football players, once the salary cap got extended and they had a supermax deal, I remember football players being like, hold on, man, who is that? When they saw how much so-and-so was making. I'm not saying that he's a scrub, but they're basically saying, how is he making that much money? How is that guy able to put that much money into his bank account? That could be part of what's going on here. I do not know all the ins and outs behind that. That is not my expertise. All I know is that this is great. This is phenomenal. My brother is a business owner, and he is some person that loves the social media. He's all over the Instagram. It's more of a fitness type of deal. He owns a fitness personal training gym towards downtown Indianapolis. And so he utilizes Instagram specifically a lot. I mean, a lot, because you're able to see the workouts. You're able to see the physiques of people that are going from physique A to physique B, going from X amount of weight and they're dropping down 30, 40 pounds to see this amount of weight. And so he's utilizing the Instagram, specifically Instagram story, Instagram post, because the visual eye is great for him in his business to allow his business to keep growing. Very similar to these athletes here. Yes, you can put a football player can make a post on Instagram story. But a lot of what basketball is, it's made, as far as the highlight-driven businesses that are out there, a lot of what basketball is that is driven, and that's perfect for the platform that is the Instagram. It's perfect for it. So that may be an explanation. I don't know all the ins and outs. I will never say I know everything. But one thing I do know is, let some of these women on the women's basketball team start getting some more NIL notoriety and attention. Let some of these women that are athletes at the Ohio State University, may it be lacrosse, may it be soccer, may it be softball, whatever the sport is, may it be track and field, cross country, whatever it is, let some more of them start taking part in these different avenues and these different social media posts that they can make money on. You want to know why? Because women have the ability to make so much money via NIL. It's crazy. It's insane. The way that women can make money right now via what's out there for them. That's easily, here's my rep. Talk to this person. They get things going on. The next thing you know, so and so who you have never heard of in your life is saying, "Well, I just signed this NIL deal and I'm making this much money." It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. It's great for Ohio State that the basketball, football players are able to make money via social media. It's great for the athletic program that they are number one in NIL compensation in the entire country. And it's great that the leadership at the top, starting with Gene Smith and everybody else trickling down under him, they're all on the same page. Let's do what we can to legally enhance and help the student athletes at this university to make all the money they can via the now legal NIL deals they can sign. If you are a person that would love to advertise your business, hopefully local, preferably local here in Columbus. If you're not in Columbus, still reach out to me. I don't mind. If you want to advertise, send an email to jstevens317@gmail.com. Once again, that is jstevens317@gmail.com. We will talk. We will discuss. I'll learn about your business, and we will help, and we will talk about you advertising your business here on the space of this here podcast. Super Bowl Sunday. It's an unofficial holiday in America. The Monday after the Super Bowl should be a holiday. Every business out there, everyone just shut down. Just absolutely shut down. No school. Many of these students already go to school on Martin Luther King Day and President's Day. So you're already going to school when many people like myself and older than me, they said, hey, MLK, President's Day, we get them days off. Forget using those days as de facto snow days. Nope. We get those days off. Well, a lot of students nowadays, I don't believe even have MLK Day or President's Day off. I don't believe they have that at all. But Super Bowl Sunday, I do believe it's a holiday. I mean, I'm doing things on Super Bowl Sunday, but during that time period between maybe 6 to 10, I ain't doing absolutely nothing. I don't know where I'll be, but wherever I am, I will be watching players like Eli Apple, Von Bell, Sam Hubbard, and Isaiah Prince play the football, all for the Bengals, and all of them have a chance to win a Super Bowl. There have been numerous Ohio State players previously that have played in the Super Bowl. Numerous have won. These four players are looking to add to the number of Buckeyes that have won a Super Bowl. Jim Tyrer was the very first Ohio State player to play in the Super Bowl, played in the Super Bowl in 1967. He ended up playing for the Chiefs and then winning with the Chiefs in 1970. If you're asking me to go through and give you Super Bowl numbers per year, I ain't the guy. I'm not the guy. I know this is Super Bowl 56. That's all I can tell you. If you try to tell me to write down the Roman numeral, I think I could get it, but I just don't know because I don't know Roman numerals after a certain point in time. You have players like Matt Snell, played for the Jets in 1969, won that Super Bowl. Bob Vogel played for the Baltimore Colts. In 69, he lost, but then the Colts won in 1971. You have Jack Tatum, 1977, won with the Raiders. He also won with Neil Colsey. They both played for the Raiders in 77 and won that Super Bowl. Archie Griffin played in the Super Bowl with the Bengals in 82, along with Ray Griffin and Pete Johnson. Pete Johnson also played in the 1985 Super Bowl as a member of the Miami Dolphins. Little more present day, Eddie George, the year 2000 Tennessee Titans, was really close to beating the Rams in that Super Bowl. He was teammates with Chris Sanders that year. They both played. Joe Germain, Orlando Pace, and Lorenzo Styles. They all played for the St. Louis Rams that beat the Titans in the Super Bowl in 2000. Orlando Pace also played for the Rams in 2002, as that was the year that Tom Brady, I do believe that was Tom Brady's first of 7. That's still crazy to think about. That's still crazy. That man won 7 Super Bowls. 7? Insane. Santonio Holmes had a phenomenal catch in, I believe, 2009 as the Steelers won that Super Bowl. Malcolm Jenkins played in 2 Super Bowls, one in 2010, the other in 2018. 2010 for the Saints, 2018 for the Eagles. Got a ring both years. Will Smith His son recently committed to be a Buckeye, won with the Saints. They beat the Indianapolis Colts in 2010. And then most recently, 2020, Darren Lee won with the Chiefs. And then Nick Bosa was on the losing end of that Super Bowl as a member of the San Francisco 49ers. Winning a national championship in college football is great. And I went through a lot right there, but it's great. It's phenomenal to win a national championship in college football. As a Buckeye, you'll be remembered forever. You can look in your stat sheet and say, well, I had this many tackles. I had that pick. I had this many rushing yards. I averaged 6.8 yards per carry. I mean, there's so many stats you can look at stat-wise by winning a national championship. But as I remember when I talked to Tyvis Powell when he was on the podcast the week Ohio State played Michigan. If you did not check that out, go back and check out that episode. Phenomenal, good stuff from Tyvis Powell on that show. It's just unfortunate Ohio State lost that game to Michigan. But winning a national championship, there are memories that you'll have forever, that'll last forever. But winning a Super Bowl is different. I remember talking to one of my friends in Canada. Yes, our neighbor to the north. And I was simply asking different things about their culture because I'm an American. I've lived in America my entire life. I've been out of the country, visited a few countries. But I am not cultured in the way that I know everything other cultures do. And so I'm learning as I get older. And I asked this person, I said, do you guys watch the Super Bowl? I mean, you may say, Jay, of course, everybody watches. But it's still a big deal in Canada. Now think about countries in Europe, countries in Africa. Think about Japan, China, Russia, all these different countries in South America, all these countries that are out there. They're all having their eyes on you. Von Bell, Eli Apple, Sam Hubbard, Isaiah Prince, everybody in the world is watching you. If you want to look at ratings and TV ratings for Super Bowls versus college football national championship games, go ahead and look at it. I would advise you to look at the BCS era when the true national championship game was started. Don't look at the Bowl Coalition or Bowl Alliance because those were not true national championship games in the college football. The first true national championship game wasn't until 1998. We may do a deep dive into that in the summer because trust me, you'll be like, wait, college football is so backwards. It was backwards for so many years. It's still confused, but yeah, it was way worse even 20, 25 years ago than it is present day. Everybody's watching you. So these four guys here, bring your A game. I mean, I'm going to be watching, rooting, cheering. I do think the Rams will win 24-20. I know we don't give NFL predictions and score predictions here on the podcast, but why not? It's the Super Bowl. It's different. It's the biggest game of the year. I am watching all four of these guys specifically. Isaiah Prince is going to have a tough time this game. People are going to watch him and say, man, he can't block nobody, but he's a starter. So what's he doing? Is he the best they have? If he was not on the Bengals, would he go start somewhere else? These are going to be questions people will have all week long. He knows he's going to be looked at and watched and very, very closely. Von Bell, Eli Apple, if they get burnt, the entire world is watching. I think Sam Hubbard is going to be big this game. For some reason, my hunch, Sam Hubbard is going to be huge. Absolutely huge. And if he has a big game, my prediction might be wrong. But I'm still rolling with the Rams. I still think the Rams defense is too good. How are you going to stop Aaron Donald? I mean, use your brain. How would you stop Aaron Donald? Don't ask other people. How would you stop Aaron Donald? If you say you can't, and we all see how the Bengals O-line blocks, now you understand why I think that the Rams win this game. These four Buckeyes, I can't wait to see them play tomorrow. And I sure hope you enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. Guys, it's a feel-good Friday. We're done for the day. Enjoy the weekend. It's still a little cold, warmed up a little bit, but it's still cold out there. But man, this weekend is going to be so much fun. Ohio State versus the team up north on Saturday. Watch that. Enjoy it. Then on Sunday, enjoy the Super Bowl party you are at. Once again, I want to thank every person out there for making Locked On Buckeyes their first listen of every single day. And now this is a perfect time to make the Locked On Bets podcast your second listen of the day, because Locked On Bets is your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q, with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. It's free and available wherever you get your fine podcasts. For Locked On Buckeyes, I am your host, Jay Stevens. We're out.